Hey guys, it's Kleo, Alara, and today I'm going to show you my everyday skincare and makeup routine. So first things first, I get my hair out of the way, but since we've already done that, we can start with the makeup routine. I like to get some oil and just a couple of drops and massage it into my face. I have to say that I love oils because I feel like they're magic. I believe oils are so powerful and it's such a good base for makeup. So now that we've oiled the face, I like to get my gua sha, and I have no idea what I'm doing. But what I do know is that I have to go up and out and lift it. This is going to deep bloat and deep puff my face, which I feel like makes me look snatched. I love to do my cheeks too. I feel like that gives me the hollow cheek look, snatched. Then we move on to the cleanser, and this is the cleanser that I use. It's like a organic cleanser with aloe vera. Just take a tiny bit. I like to foam it up in my hands before I get it on my skin. I like to get it clean but not squeaky, so I still keep some of the softness from the oils. And this is like one of my favorite serums right now, the Glow Drops. Just like 2 drops, adding it in very lightly. And to top it off, I use this moisturizer with Bakuchiol. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it's like a natural version of retinol. Same compound, but this is actually natural. And I feel like it's less aggressive, so I feel more comfortable using it. My moisturizer is like the first step of my base. And since we're just starting the day, I'm definitely going to use an SPF. Yeah, but this is 50 SPF with like a light skin tint, I think. So it's my first time using it. We'll see together. But generally, I like to start with a skin tint that looks natural. I like to pat in my light coverage skin tints with my finger. I usually prefer like a lighter base so I can go harder with the blush and bronzer without making it look uneven with my neck. I love to get that evenness all across my face. I like to get the most product in the center of my face and blend it outwards. Blend it for sure. Because for me it always has to give skin. I have literally went ahead and tested all types of makeup products, and there are so many brands that I love. But right now I'm in my organic sensitive era. So I use this organic sensitive concealer, and a tiny bit goes a long way. So we just put 1 dot here, tiny bit here, and then I like to get my beauty blender and damp it up. We're trying to look rested and natural and lifted and not drag it down. And then I go in with my cream contour from the same brand. And I'm just using a very tiny bit because I'm not trying to make it look like contoured, but instead like a natural shadow. And I blend it out. And again, from the same brand, I use the blush in the shade Dusty Rose, and it dries very quick. So I just take a tiny bit very high on my cheekbones. I'm not sure about blush. I love blush, but I feel like I'm so bad at doing it. There are so many options I didn't do with it. For the skin, we're going for like naturally flushed. And the last tiny pigment that I have, I just put to the tip of my nose. This makes me look cute. I don't know why, but the pink nose is really my thing. So since we're still in the creamy part of the makeup, I like to take a lip balm, just a tiny bit, and put it exactly where my highlighter is supposed to go, high up on the cheekbones. I love a naturally snatched, lifted look. Maybe a tiny bit on the nose bridge, why not? Now I'm going in with powder. When I first started my makeup journey, I used to do like makeup every day, like 8 times a day, to learn. I really love the art of makeup because it's definitely an art form, and I love to express myself with it. I take my natural mineral setting powder with this brush, dust it off, and put it under my eyes, and with the rest I just go over my T-zone. So we're just trying to not get shiny. And for this natural type of look, I like to go in with like a blush shade that is kind of faint, not too saturated. This helps me put on more and more without looking too crazy. We're going for lifted. I like to bring this into my brow bone like this. I don't know where I got this trick from, but I like to go in like circles and then go the opposite way. So like this and then the other way. And then I go with the highlighter. And this is also not very pigmented, it's pretty faint, but it helps me like do it without accidentally going overboard. I like to use a little brush like this from the top of my cheekbones up into my brow. I can blend it with my fingers. My skin is in full breakout mode right now, but I just have to deal with it, it's fine. And I'm not going to use any pimple patches because this is not the look that we're going for. I like to do the Kim Kardashian duck face when I'm doing my highlighter because it helps me see where the light bounces off of. And I bring a tiny bit onto my nose bridge and the tip of my nose. I can also go into the center of my chin, cupid bow, and I like to draw like a very little point in the center of my forehead. So now to the eye area, I'm going to start with my brows, and I like to use this brown shade and just very lightly fill in where it sparks and have like a defined tail. This look would be nothing without my brow gel, and I like to brush some up, but not too crazily, just like a swipe up, and then I feel like it just gets into place. I have no idea what I'm doing with my brows. I have gone through so many brow phases. I had the thickest block brows, I have had the skinniest brows, I have had no brows in the past. So right now I'm just trying to grow out my natural brows so I can just not go too crazy and still find something that works for me. If I'm going to be doing any type of eye makeup, I will use like a taupe shade like this one and just blend it in a tiny bit into the crease of my eye. No one would clock that, I swear to God. And like, even though I love me an eyeliner, I'm going to go in with a brown shade, like a darker brown shade, and dust it off. And I like to extend it from the bottom of my lash line, basically like that. I feel like that opens up my eyes. I blend that out with my finger. I use my sensitive mascara for my lashes because I have struggled so much with my lashes in the past. I got like a lash lift and that completely destroyed my lashes. And for the next 4 months, my lashes looked so weird. So since then, I'm not trying to overdo anything with my lashes. I feel like my lashes are so sensitive, which is why I'm not going to use a lash curler. If you want to, at this point, you could use a lash curler. But I like to put it on the bottom of my lashes and swipe it up with like a zigzag motion. I used to use like a lengthening mascara, but like my eyes started twitching. So of course, last but not least, we have the lips. I go in with my same cream contour, and I like to do like this thing where I close my lips and just overline a tiny bit like this, and I blend it out with my finger to the corners. And that gives me like a natural lip contour effect that I don't think anyone would clock. Surprise, surprise! Of course, I'm going to be using my lip gloss. I can use like a very natural pinkish, and I blend it into the contour that I drew on. It's giving very natural lips. So the last step that I have to my makeup routine is the setting spray, and I have this right now. I'm not very good at collecting all types of makeups, so I'm just going to use like a light spritz of this, like just like. And this is how I dry it because I feel like the way it dries is the way that it's going to stick and stay. Last but definitely not least of the entire look is going to be the hair. I'm going to remove this bandana. These are my braids from last night that I slipped in, and I just open them out. I shake it out, shake my roots. I like to take a tiny bit of aloe vera gel. It was more than I thought. I scrunch my ends, and with the rest of the product I will smooth this out, and I'll take a drop of oil, smooth out the top again, and that gives me like a sleek look without even having a bun or anything tight. I have dyed and damaged this hair so much. It was a battle to have it look even remotely healthy. Scrunch, scrunch. And last but not least, I just grab my hair and I pull it. I have these earrings that I went to the piercer for, and they just screwed them on because I told them that I want earrings that I don't have to replace all the time, because if I have to like take out my earrings, put in other earrings, I am too lazy to do it. So these are like my little butterfly decorations that I have. And that's me, skin, lift, and I'll see you outside.